Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to OnPointe, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call and talk show in America, live every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. at David G. Evans 1 on any smart device that you may possess. You can call us toll-free, 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267, 866-74-EVANS. You can give us a call. I just ran up the steps.
Yeah. I got you.
Ain't been in the gym in I don't know how long.
I know.
I'm deconditioning.
Yes.
My goodness.
But I was barely going before this thing started.
Man, oh man. I'm trying to tell you.
I tell myself I'm going to work out while I'm home.
Man.
And every time I get home, it never happens.
I may know two people that's keeping up with that commitment.
I'm trying. I was like, no.
I'm off the wagon eating though, man.
I know. Me too.
Man, I'm remembering how good cake was and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
It's just amazing, man.
It was beautiful.
Oh, they got Law and Order Marathon on at the right time, but I can't watch it.
You can't watch it?
No.
Why?
They ain't home. We down here.
Oh, we here. Yeah, true. Yeah.
We down here. I can't watch Law and Order here. Sometimes the themes are a little dicey.
Yeah.
You know, it can
I understand that.
mess up the anointment in my office and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
A little dicey theme every now and then. Can't do that.
I understand.
Oh, you missing Briscoe's little comments though.
Yeah, I love it. I love this. He's so funny. He is so funny.
I never got into the original one.
Oh,
I like
they're
SVU.
the best. No, they're the best, man.
I like SVU for some
Man, that
reason.
original cast was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Briscoe had a one-liner for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm going to
So,
catch up somewhere.
Give us a call today. We want to talk to you about those things that are important to you, but always from a kingdom perspective, always from a biblical point of view, being the foundation for our comments, for what the Lord really wants us to do is apply kingdom to our context. That's why he gives us those wisdom books in the Bible, Proverbs and Psalms and Job, so we can apply ancient wisdom, divine wisdom to the context in which we're living at any place and at any time in our lives. That's why the Bible is relevant yesterday, today, and forevermore. So we want you to always think of your Bible as instructions, divine instructions, wisdom for the context of your life. So it's always relevant. We just need to become more familiar with it. 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. I can't tell what camera I'm looking into this morning. I don't see any red lights anywhere. I don't know what's going on. So what do I do?
I guess you're
That's me.
talking to
That's
that
still
one.
me, even though
Yeah.
there's no light. It's not winking back at me today. Okay. It's pretty cool. Okay. Phones are starting to light up already. We have Shawn from PA on the phone. You can join us in this conversation. A lot going on, Pastor Nick.
Yeah.
My world famous co-host is here.
Y'all.
You need to know that he's working his pastor like a Hebrew in Egypt during this particular season in our lives. You said it's different work, right?
It's different work.
Okay. Because I'm thinking that might be why a lot of other leaders are not responding as quickly, because it is work they're not used to doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And they don't have a master like I do. I need you here at 11 o'clock on Tuesday. I need you here Thursday at 5:30. That's what I got going on right here.
But I'm working right along with you.
Yeah,
we going in. We going in. We gonna do it together. I ain't gonna leave you hang out there.
You are Angelo Dundee. You do stand in the corner and watch me go in and fight.
Oh, Angel Dundee. Okay. I got it. I knew that.
Yeah, you do throw me in now.
Yeah. Oh no. We throwing you in.
I know.
We got Tuesday at 10:30.
Oh, here we go.
And then after that, we'll probably go. We can go live if you have time to.
Of course.
And then
time.
Well, I don't know. If you have like other
got
phone
meetings,
calls,
meetings somewhere.
But you have phone call meetings still.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, I do have conference calls.
Yeah. So I gotta check.
I'm
on
just
that.
messing with you.
I know.
Just messing.
You would do it anyway.
We mess with each other all the time. So we got phone lines are lighting up. So the SBA is the big deal right now.
Yes, sir.
Supposedly. And what it looks like to us that are strategic thinkers is that our concept of small business and the government's concept of small business,
Two separate.
two entirely different things.
Mm-hmm.
And our concept of small business, as it looks, was never really included
Mm-hmm.
in this plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I tell you, I don't pretend to be spooky or anything like that, but I had a conversation on Monday with Chef, and he was asking, what do I think is going to happen? And I started telling him these things, and then yesterday when I saw him, I said, what'd I tell you? All this stuff with the SBA, I think they look at small businesses, our concept,
Yeah.
like weeds.
Mm-hmm.
Pluck them up, another one's going to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they're overly concerned about that.
No.
If they were, they would not have given all the money away to those businesses. Their idea of small business is $10 million a year in sales and 500 people working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Our concept of small business is, you and 6 other folk,
Yep.
you and 10 folk if you're really
Mhm.
smoking. And if you're really, 20, you really hop in there.
Doing good, yeah.
I remember when I had my business, I had like 65 employees.
Okay.
And it was considered a small business.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't think that's considered small anymore.
Yeah. And I mean, from this issue with Ruth Chris
Man,
to the airlines
Shake Shack,
to Shake Shack.
yeah.
Who else was there?
They all got
the
maximum,
grocery
right?
stores. Yeah. Grocery stores profits are up 200%.
Now, I thought the grocery stores were making money right now.
200% profits. And they're marking some stuff up.
They marking stuff up?
Yeah, some places they raised the price of certain foods. And they got these bailouts were, like you said, there were a few small businesses that got some money so they can justify saying.
Yeah, but you can't
justify.
compare. You can't compare. Ruth Chris doesn't even have a restaurant in Philly anymore.
They closed the one.
They closed the one on Broad Street.
Really? When?
Long time ago. Where
I
you
didn't know
been? Man, that thing gone.
I don't know. These kids made a difference in my eating choices. So, I ain't been over there in a while.
Can't go drop a bunch of bucks on Ruth Chris anymore.
Just because, just to go over. Hey, let's roll over.
Let's roll over, man.
That's a planned
Those
event.
were the
now.
days, wasn't it?
Right. It's a planned event.
Oh, man. We got Shawn from PA. We've got Pastor Nixon from Philly. Going to get to the phones. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show. Live every Saturday morning, streaming around the world at David G. Evans 1. I want you to join us, 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. We're going to Shawn and then to Pastor Nixon. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Bishop?
Man,
Afternoon.
trying to make it,
Morning.
man. Trying to make it. You all right?
that's
You all right over there?
Yeah, we doing good over here in PA.
Okay.
The governor's a little different in our area. My friends down south are working, and we're not working.
Okay.
Yep. So my question is, kind of my scripture been during this time is Psalm 91, and I appreciate all the information Pastor Nick's been sharing. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
I think this downtime for us as believers needs to really think in this word. So how do you, I get the life and death are in the tongue. So sometimes when I read or hear people that are around me and we're at Bible study or something like that, they want to get on the subject of this pandemic, whatever they want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you're giving life to the very thing that you're talking about. I said, can we talk about a different subject? We're here to study Word.
Mm-hmm.
Word's going to give us the life. How do you redirect? I kind of went there and they kind of redirected our Bible study into somewhere different because the guy that was leading it was getting into different subjects. I said, hold on. I said, we're breathing life into the very thing that, I'm not afraid of that. I said, that's what they want you to do is be fearful of it. And what does that do? That robs us of our faith. So what's a good way to elaborate on that next time we get together with our Bible study?
I think this might be to add a little wisdom to what you're saying. The first thing people are not doing is people are doing is giving their opinion. So you have a lot of opinions. One of the things that Pastor Nick and I talk about every couple days or so is that we've got a lot of people in the prophetic, but they're giving different messages.
Yes.
So that can't have accuracy when God's message is always unified.
That's right.
All right, so secondarily, I believe when you get in a situation where people are talking like that, you go directly to the Bible.
Yeah.
And this is how you do it. This is how you do it. In this particular situation, What they call a pandemic now was called a plague in the Old Testament.
There we go. All right.
That immediately takes us to when Israel was in Egypt, and God sent the 7 plagues into Egypt. Now, the correlation is, of course, you've got hail here in April. You've got unusual thunderstorms and lightning storms here in quote-unquote spring. You've got the pandemic. You've got locusts in Africa. So you've got 5 or 6 of the 7 plagues going on right now.
Amen.
Now, so what happens? This judgment, if you will, comes, and judgment means to choose between 2 things. So, the Bible says that we need to notice that every time something like this happens, the church tends to look outside itself. When in actuality, judgment begins at the house of God. So God is asking us a question, and the question is, who are you going to choose? Now, why would God have to ask his church, who are you going to choose? Well, if you look at one of the subtleties in the text when you're talking about Israel in Egypt, is that I found it intriguing that God would have to mark the houses of his people to know the difference.
Wow. Yes. Yeah.
Extraordinarily accurate.
Amen. Amen. That's what it's all about.
And we make sure.
I appreciate y'all and all that you're doing and your true inspiration.
Absolutely.
And hopefully once this gets done, I can take a road trip down.
Come on.
I did recall going to your brother in York, Pennsylvania. I met him before.
Did you?
That was your brother.
You met Marty?
Yeah. Yep. I was like, over there, I remember the church on the west side of town. I was like, hey, listen, what's that same guy that said my wife? She said, yeah, that's probably him. He's related to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Doc.
All right, take care.
See you soon now.
Blessings.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
1-866-743-8267, 1-866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We're going to Pastor Nixon. You're Episcopalian apostolic anointedness. How are you this morning?
I'm okay. How you doing?
All right. You good?
Listen, I just wanted to call and encourage you. My name is Reverend Nixon from To God Be the Glory radio broadcast. I was your radio announcer on WZZD 990 in the 90s.
Wow.
And I used to put you on every Sunday. And you with Charles E. Williams and Horace Shepard, there was a lineup of you guys that I used to play your tapes. I was the radio announcer.
Wow.
And I just want to say thank you for your kindness and your service. And I still tune in once in a while. I just want to tell you I love you, man. That's all I call to say.
Thank you, Nixon, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, and I wish you can call in on our show. When you get a chance, please hold my number.
Okay.
We're on today for 2 hours on WTMR. If you can call in whenever you can.
You on TMR?
Yeah, I'm on there for 10 years.
Okay, now somebody else I know is on TMR.
I know Destiny's on there.
Destiny Diggs is on there?
Yeah.
Vanessa, I'm the one got them on. Button,
Yeah.
I'm the guy. I married a young lady from your congregation, Josephine Polson. She's now Josephine Nixon.
Wow.
And I just want to thank you for your service. And I'll always learn something when I come to your church, and I just want to say thank you. That's what I want to
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
God bless you.
Talk to you soon.
All right, God bless.
Bye-bye. 1-866-743-8267. Lights blinking. 1-866-743-8267.
No. My head was cold because I'm
Your head was
under
cold?
this thing.
Yeah.
That's right. I ain't trying to get sick during this time, man.
No.
Man. I already feel some type of way already, man.
Look, can't sneeze now.
Right.
Man,
my nose all congested
man,
and everything.
You got allergies, man. People think something going on with you. You gotta be careful, boy. You gotta actually want to sneeze.
Right.
Wait till you get by yourself.
And this thing is right. My head is right under the vent. So I'm like, man.
Well, you're getting older.
Yeah.
I remember I used to be able to sit under that thing and it wouldn't bother me. I know when I'm on the road. This is not gonna make sense to anybody but somebody who travels. I don't know why they build these hotel rooms. And the vent with the air conditioner pushes right down on your head.
Yes.
I have to sleep down the other end. I have to bring a wool cap with me.
Yes.
Because if you sleep under that the next day,
you
no voice at all.
None. And then the ones with a real small room, and they got the air conditioner on the floor unit,
Yeah.
and it blows up like this, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
You're not even sensitive to that before you start preaching.
I know. Now I gotta make sure the temperature of the room
Gotta
is.
protect everything.
And then when it gets too hot, because you sweat, and I'm like,
Yeah, man.
you can't win.
Let's talk to Kyle from Atlanta. Good morning, Kyle. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Bishop? Just say thanks for being live with what you've been sharing lately during the pandemic.
I'm glad you're listening, man. How's things in Atlanta?
It's just trying to stay home. Everybody still want to try to get out and do everything. You
Okay,
know,
okay.
go to the park and walk and go fish and can't do that. So
You staying
it's
safe?
good though. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to dig in the word. That's my thing. Get back in and get
Yeah,
tight
man.
again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a good reset time, isn't it?
It is. And I was just wondering, do you think this pandemic will be bringing church back together? And we're sort of divided with everything that's going on. We're going to bring the body of Christ back together and be more powerful afterwards?
I think that's the purpose. When I say purpose, that's the outcome that God would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
Us unified on a more international basis.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the first work is going to happen at the local church.
Mm-hmm.
I was just having a conversation with Bishop Michael Anthony from Pottstown, Pennsylvania yesterday, and I was saying to him that unfortunately, part of the reason people are missing it is because they were told they couldn't come.
Mm-hmm.
While they had the option on their own, people were making the decision whether they wanted to go or not. You know, the Bible doesn't really say you got to go to church. You can love God and not go to church. But now people are really pining away to get back to the house of God for corporate worship.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they're seeing that watching online is great, but it's nothing like being in the house.
Yeah.
Nothing
that's true.
like the power of God's Spirit, the energy of the saints, the joint faith of the saints. You can't get that at home by yourself.
Yeah, true.
And and I think a lot of things. I think some pastors are believing, this is going to change the way church is done forever. Number one, that's man's reason. God says, "Upon this rock I will build my church.
Mm-hmm.
Gates of hell shall not prevail against us." Part of that is, he says, "Forsake not the assembling of yourselves together, as the manner of some is."
Yep.
In other words, as some people have reasoned that they can stay away. So you've got you got Christians before this saying they love God but they hate the church. And we say all the time, you can't tell a man you hate his woman and stay friends with him.
Yep.
True.
So you can't hate his bride and say you love him.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, God is gearing up. The saints are gearing up to come back to church like never before.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they stay this time.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a reaction, but a response. Yeah.
Because one thing that I was just thinking about during my own personal time is just like to be proactive and not be reactionary in my walk.
Got to be responsive, not reacting.
Yeah, because that's dangerous. Like some people are just like thinking that are not taking it serious enough what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're sort of slacking off and still trying to do stuff around the house and barbecues and do little stuff like
These
that.
people crazy, man.
They having barbecues?
In Florida, they had to shut down a whole community neighborhood party. The police had to come.
Recently?
Yes, like last week.
Yeah.
These people are crazy. The beaches in Florida to open up this morning, it was almost packed on those beaches this morning again.
They opened the beaches this morning?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're trying the southern countries, and what they're protesting
Southern
in Minnesota.
countries or states?
States.
Okay.
Southern part of the country. Sorry.
Yeah.
And and what they're trying to protest in Minnesota, they're trying to get them to reopen everything, so that they can get the money back.
So it's not the people, it's the government
No,
and
it's
the business.
It's the government and the people.
Yeah.
Trump supporters are out protesting, saying this stay-at-home order is messing up our freedom.
I said this a while ago, a couple weeks ago. I said people were going to start protesting, literally saying, "I don't care if I die, I just want to go outside."
Yeah, and these are the pro-life people.
Huh?
Pro-life, we got to protect these babies in the womb. They're willing to infect themselves and infect others so more deaths can happen. I knew America couldn't handle a shutdown. For Wuhan, China,
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it, right?
Yeah.
In Italy,
Yeah.
shut down the whole country for a month.
Okay.
It took a month of nobody going out except for groceries for it to calm down.
Okay.
we think 2 weeks is going to shut this whole thing down.
Because they don't care.
Yeah. Americans.
I'm telling you, I told a guy early in the week,
Mhm.
they losing money.
Yep.
They're not going to lose money for long.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to open this bad boy back up.
Yep.
And they're going to calculate
Mm-hmm.
the casualties.
Yep.
How many collateral damage?
Because some folk will have money enough to get the drug that's needed.
Yep.
And some folk won't.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the folk fighting to open the country aren't the laborers that's going to be working down.
Isn't that amazing?
They're going to be in their
Yeah.
office somewhere.
Yep.
I think
High up.
I think Americans have a short-term memory.
Well, they
They'll
do.
deal with things for about a month. September 11th, the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They say, oh, we'll have all the security for a month.
Yep.
And then after that,
It's not real until it lands on your front porch.
Yep.
Then it's
Yeah.
real.
Yep.
As long as it's happening to other people,
Mm-hmm.
Americans tend to underestimate
Mm-hmm.
and dissuade and push off.
Yeah.
When it lands on their front porch,
Mhm.
all of a sudden it's a real issue.
And these, I hate to call them, some of these idiots are out there, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is telling them, liberate Minnesota, liberate these people. Having his people go to, he's not saying
worried
it.
about the stock market
Yep.
and the way it looks.
Mhm.
He's worried about the fact he's going to have 25 million people on unemployment
Mhm.
by the middle of next week.
Yep.
That's what he's worried about.
Yep. And they're out there protesting with masks on, talking about the coronavirus isn't that deadly. Well, why you got a mask on while you
Because
protesting?
they stupid.
Y'all
I-
dumb.
They getting me riled up here,
I'm
Kyle.
sorry.
You hear what I'm saying?
Sorry, Kyle. We done hijacked your
I got you on that. Could you discuss the topic of tempting God?
Yeah.
yeah.
Testing God.
Testing God. Tempting God.
It is tantamount to understand what God wants you to do is obey him, not try to test him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus said,
Mm-hmm.
the older brother said,
Yep.
homie, don't play.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess with him like that.
Yeah.
Don't mess with him like that. Because you're presuming his will.
Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so, but man, we
Yeah.
got some other folk on the phone. I'm so glad you called me.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for your insight.
Stay strong down there now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. You too.
Ava!
What's going on, Bishop?
You got it, girl. How you and the family doing?
Oh, I'm keeping them all together.
I know you are. Up there in Utica, girl. I'm praying for y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was trying to get to you 2 weeks ago. I was going to call last week, and I woke up late, and I said, I won't stress it today. So I said, but I am going to call. I said, the guy in Georgia said, oh, they out here barbecuing. I said, well, wait a second, because I just threw something on the grill last night. Don't be judging me.
But you was by yourself,
But
right?
it was you and the family,
I got
though.
6 kids.
Yeah, there you go. You and the
it's a
kids,
party
yeah.
Whenever we go
Yeah, y'all
outside.
party
The
all the
lady-
time. So
All the time. The lady behind us was like, you're supposed to be social distancing. She yelling
We live in
from
the
window,
same house
"Man."
we
together.
living in the same house.
Like, word. Like, at this point, I'm like, get out. Go get Corona. These things. I'm about to hurt
Ava, Ava, too far.
What in the world?
Where's your husband? Too far.
He
Right.
still asleep. He worked last night.
See, you need some supervision, girl.
Right, Jesus.
Wake that
Always
brother
need
up.
Supervision. I need an adult. You know what happened? I need a parent. I need a Christian parent. Okay,
Jesus.
to come guide me through this thing because I'm
Ava.
going off the tracks.
Girl,
And then I
Ava.
gotta call people to come help me put my train back on the tracks.
Soon as this
Just
thing get
get
over, the whole group need to come to church.
Right.
The whole
The whole
I
group need to come to Jersey.
Listen, the kids can go too, but I definitely need to go. I'm not starting for
You
nobody ever.
y'all need a road trip to Bethany.
Right,
I'm telling
right.
you now.
You know what? As I've been going, I called to say during the pandemic, and I watch you all the time
Mm-hmm.
anyway. So I said during the pandemic, now I got time to actually like focus and really in there. I said the bishop challenges me more than anybody else challenges me.
Wow.
And
Yep.
I feel like currently in my church, I'm comfortable there because I know everybody. I really don't feel like I fit in this area, period.
Mhm.
So not necessarily just the church. I just don't feel like I'm a Jersey baby, though. Like, we just do things a little different down there.
Mhm.
So I don't feel like I fit in. However, I have not been challenged since I've been to church in Jersey, which is down there with you.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like, and I said it to my husband a couple weeks ago when we spoke, I said, I don't feel like I've grown, and I never really paid it any attention because I've always been moving a lot.
Mhm.
So during the pandemic, I sat down, and I said, I don't feel like I've grown anymore
Since you left down here.
than from when I left.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm like, listen, I can't afford to live in Jersey, and I ain't got time for none of that, it's way more distractions because all my friends, I went to high school, all that stuff down there. So, we turn up more often when I'm in Jersey.
Mhm.
But I was able to grow more spiritually. Does that make sense?
Well, I'm still trying to get past. I thought it was more expensive to live in New York.
Yeah.
Not in Utica.
Really?
I ain't in New York City now. I'm all the way up. I got a 4-bedroom apartment, 2 bathrooms. I pay $650. So.
What?
Excuse me?
What you say?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. So you gonna have to just do me a satellite church up here, cause I could afford it up here now.
$650.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. Talking about
Yeah. So all of our
favor
bills,
ain't
car
fair.
notes, electric, all that
Jeez.
stuff. All of
So
our
Utica's
monthly
like a small town, like.
I want to say we're what is that? What would that be? East of Syracuse.
Okay.
Southeast of Syracuse, about 45 minutes. I can get to Syracuse Airport quick.
Yeah.
30 minutes if I'm
so
driving.
you up
45
there,
minutes
up
if
there.
the husband
But they
drives.
get snow.
Yeah, y'all get snow.
Yeah, we get snow.
Yeah.
Every day this week it's been snow on the ground. We woke up, it's gone by noon, but it's been snow out there.
Wow.
I will shovel
There's
for
a trade-off.
$650 a month.
I
though.
know that's
ain't
right.
worried
I
about
would too.
none of that.
I know you will.
Shoot, had me 3 snow blowers.
I know.
For that
Y'all
thing.
crazy. Man, thank you so much, Ava.
Thank you. Keep me straight.
So on that, keep listening. Bye-bye. Chicago. Joy,
Yes.
how you doing?
Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick. How y'all doing?
Good
We
morning.
hanging, girl. Good to hear from you.
Yes, good to hear from you, too. I'm not going to stay on the line long. I just wanted to call and ask you to revisit your message on shift or die.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think that in light of what's going on right now, it's
Yeah.
just, it is on point.
That thing was prophetic as it was. Ugh.
Yeah. It was very prophetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's been in
Extremely.
my spirit every week. I've been trying to get through because I've been listening to you guys, but I finally made it today. And so I just want to say stay safe and be blessed.
How's things in Chicago?
Everything is good here. We minding our business. You know, I'm only going out when I have to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good.
I'm glad to hear it. You stay safe here.
All right. God bless
Thanks
you
for
all.
calling.
Bless
Talk
you.
to you soon now.
All right. Don't forget now, because I'm expecting a follow-up when you revisit that message.
I think we're gonna talk about it since we're doing all this online stuff.
All right.
I saw Pastor Nick take a note,
Yeah,
so that
maybe
means
Tuesday.
I got another assignment.
Maybe Tuesday or something.
All right.
They working me, girl. They working me.
I believe it, but you can handle it.
All right now. Take it easy.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live on any smart device anywhere in the world at David G. Evans 1. My world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas A. Smith, is here with us, as always, providing information and doing his thing as he always does. Our wonderful staff is in, doing their great job. We should be going on a break right now. I'm going to show you a couple things, and we'll be right back.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings, and you can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live at 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up-to-the-minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
Well, praise the Lord. We're back. This is On Point. I'm Bishop David G. Evans with Reverend Nicholas Smith. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. We got Danny from Fort Lauderdale. Hey, Dan.
Bishop, good morning. Good morning, Bishop.
I hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
I hear it in your voice.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
How y'all doing today?
I'm gonna talk to your wife. I hear it in your voice. You can restart something. my sister got to get control of you because you're out of control.
I just got on this morning, but I see Pastor Nick. I'm looking at you, and what's the weather like today?
Well, it's chilly and wet today. We're in the 30s and 40s.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Well, today we're going to be in the 90s again. It's supposed to go. And I got, I got to hit the line cut today. So.
I could tell when you said hello. It was like the cat with the canary in his mouth. Oh my goodness! How's things, man?
I just want to run a couple of things by you.
Okay.
And it's so. It seems like there's so much political mixed in with what's going on and what have you. And I think the safety and the well-being of the people are not put first.
Yep.
And I was just put back when the governor of this state announced that we're going to open the beaches.
Now, going to, or they did?
They did this morning.
The good thing is that the southern Florida, because of the fact that most of your political representatives, they have the virus or they're recovering from it.
Okay.
So they have firsthand experience. They said, no. We'll go ahead and we'll decide what's best, and we'll go ahead and do it that way. But in other parts of the states, they have been open. But then how are you going to go to the beach with a mask on? How are you going to surf with a mask on?
Are they doing it?
Yes. Yes, Bishop.
They literally are massing on the beach. I mean, masking and massing people on the beach.
They're on the beach, no mask. You know?
Wow.
The social distancing and what have you.
All that's out the window, right?
Right. And you have people, like I said, before they were breaking the rules when they said, no boating and these different things like that. But if you have a boat in your backyard and you're on the canal, you have access to the ocean, that doesn't, pertain to certain people.
So what are they going to say if they have another spike in Florida from this nonsense?
And who's going to take responsibility? And nobody's there. And then when you have someone that gets and starts tweeting and pushing on people, telling them, okay, yeah, go ahead and protest this and that, and the safety of the people is not regarded in that. Is that responsible or what?
Wow. It's just maybe not enough people have died in Florida for them to take this seriously.
Oh yeah, it's taken its toll, and I feel the thing that's really heartbreaking is the fact that of families that have friends and loved ones who have passed, and they were not there. They were not allowed to be there.
No, you can't be.
Away.
One of the big things that I'm finding is I'm counseling people over the phone, which is really weird for somebody who's been meeting with people face to face for almost 30 years now. One of the things that's really disturbing me, and that's disturbing the people, is the change in the way that you have to deal with not only your relative in the hospital, but what happens if they ultimately decease, and the distance and all, and the change in the way you have to, deal with the whole process of getting them buried.
Yep. Exactly, Bishop. It's heartbreaking when you know of someone and they're telling you what they're feeling inside. It's bad enough that they have lost that particular loved one, but not to spend that final moment.
Yeah, and I can't imagine what that's like for the person that's sick.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they were calling for their loved ones to be with them.
Yeah, and they're not allowed. It's just, I've been counseling people for the past 4 weeks in that very same scenario, and it is distressing.
Yep.
Because one lady I talked to, she wasn't even a member of the church. She just called. I picked the phone up, and she said the last time she saw her husband was when she let him out of the car at the emergency room because she couldn't go in with him.
Wow. Yeah. Yep.
And then he passed away. So the next time she saw him, we'll see him, is at the funeral.
Yep.
And then the family's erupting.
Yeah.
Because not everybody can
You
come.
can only, what, 10 people now?
10 folk at the most. That's 10 total.
10 total, yeah.
Yes.
It's
That's
two
crazy,
more things
man.
that I get out of the way is that they have a committee that they have formulated in our state that's going to decide how they're going to put the system back together again. Now, if I can't go to the store and get the self-protection that I need personally, where am I going to get the mask and all these different things in order for me to go back to work?
I can't even purchase it if I wanted to.
That's the thing about America. Most European countries are giving masks out to people everywhere they go. When
Not us. We're going to sell them.
No, yeah. It's all about money for us.
No, we're going to sell them. No.
They have them outside of the store, so when you walk in, if you don't have one, they have them right there for you.
Not here.
Not here. They're worried about who's going to make the money.
Some stores have them.
No, I'm talking about in Europe, they have it stationed where no matter where you go.
But they're giving them away.
They're giving them away.
I went to a store here.
They gave you a mask?
And they gave me a mask.
Yeah.
And gloves.
Some may hear like Whole Foods
What
and
store
places
was that?
may.
Fazio's.
What the heck is a Fazio's?
Right.
Industrial supply store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's especially.
They want you to come in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No. Shayla went to Walmart the other week and they gave her a whole bottle of hand sanitizer. Really?
But you're looking at certain ones. I'm talking about Europe had the whole country, everything.
Right.
They're giving everybody masks. They're not doing that here because it's about who's going to make the money.
Well, and I bet you people are investing in companies that make the
Oh
masks.
yeah.
We're so mercenary.
Now, one last question, and I'll get out of the
Okay.
way. Now, when they figure out the death toll,
Mm-hmm.
are people who pass at home, people in rural areas who do not have access to hospitals, are they counted or they're not counted?
Eventually, I
Because
guess they
what
will
I
be.
see in New York City, it looks like a pauper's field.
Yeah, it's a bad situation.
So if that's full, what's happening on the other side where people are having funerals and they're passing away? Are those numbers counted or not?
I think the whole system is overwhelmed as to how to deal with these eventualities. In Philadelphia, one university hospital has turned a stadium that they own into a hospital. So it's causing some very unusual responses, I believe, and I think it's a work in progress as to what's going to be the best way. I'm not sure that they've worked all the kinks out of the system as to how to deal with from sickness to eventuality if the person doesn't live. I know one thing I'm hearing. They're saying that the last thing you want them to do is put you on a respirator.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's what they're saying.
Very last thing.
They produced a whole lot of them, but that's the last thing you want them to do. You want them to beat your back up. You want them to sit you up every 10 minutes, but you don't want to get on that respirator.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I don't know, Dan. We got to pray.
Yep.
All right. Well, we appreciate what you're doing and the broadcast during the week.
We're trying hard, man.
All right, Bishop.
Talk
Be
to you now.
blessed.
Tell my
All
sister
right.
I said hi.
All right. Thank you much.
Bye-bye. 1-866-743-8267. Now, what's this I hear? There's some rich folk got a stimulus check for $1.7 million.
So where's it at? I can't remember. It's something that was hidden in the stimulus package.
Hidden from who?
From the government. Remember the $1,200 package that the bill?
So
they
you're
put
saying the
together?
politicians wrote it and such, and since my president doesn't read, they missed it?
Well, the way they did it was this. In that stimulus package where everybody gets the $1,200, they put a stipulation in place where they did some sort of write-offs. It was buried in there for wealthy people.
Okay.
So now that they got these certain write-offs that were included in it, when they go for their refund, they're going to get up to $1 million. These are people making over $1 million a year anyway.
Okay.
They're going to get an additional $1 million, $800,000, $1.7 million, some even more. It's what's this thing called?
I have said it, and I will continue to say it. The Republican Party has not been. They say they're small business oriented. I don't believe they are. They say they're worker oriented. I know they're not.
Yep, they're not. Absolutely not. It was some. I just had it in my head and I can't remember. I'll find it.
So you got folk more worried about the fact that they can't come outside than they are about getting better. I don't know how they're going to reopen America. I know they're going to do it because money's being lost. That's the driving force. So they want to reopen to help the economy, but doesn't all this death and stuff put another strain on the economy?
Right. That's my thing. You had what the other day? They said 4,500 people died in one day from the virus.
Okay.
And if everybody goes back to normal, that could be 10,000, 15,000 a day, 20 a day. Like, y'all are ridiculous.
So why would my president stop funding the World Health Organization?
Because I don't understand.
It's kind of still.
Why?
He I guess he was saying that he got, now mind you, here's what it was. He said they weren't doing a good job when it first came out to contain it and to protect everybody from it.
He's deflecting from the fact that
he
we
did-
knew about it and didn't tell our people about
Yep,
it.
and he
He's
did
deflecting.
the same thing. He did the same thing.
He's deflecting.
And he feels that China, that World Health Organization is in China's pocket.
I don't care where it started.
Right.
It needed to be talked about last fall.
Yeah. And
They knew about it.
He
in the
delayed
fall.
on it.
Yes,
He delayed on it.
didn't want them. You don't want to disturb the confidence of the
Yep.
stock market.
Yep.
Now y'all don't understand it. They're very temperamental and very fragile.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to mess with their confidence.
Yep.
Because if you start messing with their confidence, they start selling their stocks and making money.
Mm-hmm. Which they did.
Come on now.
And
They're sensitive.
when they announced this reopening plan, of course stocks went up.
Yeah, of course they did. Because confidence was being.
Mhm.
They're very temperamental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an insecure child.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
That way he can buy low and then sell high.
Because I'm sure him and his family making some crazy money right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. We're not talking about it. SBA relief program ran out of money.
Mm-hmm.
They just opened it up,
Yep. And they said first come, first serve.
but they stopped certain people from being able to be served.
Absolutely. So the thing was, those that had relationships with the bankers and the SBA,
Yep, they got it.
they got their stuff in there quick. I mean, again, the whole Ruth Chris thing, I didn't know they had two subsidies under them.
Of course.
So if one got 10 million, one got 10 million. So in total, they got $20 million
Yeah. From the SBA.
from the SBA.
And you got a bunch of mom and pops out here that could use
Mhm.
some money.
Right.
Not nearly as much.
10, 15, 20,000,
Look,
15,000.
look, 50,000, 100,000.
Yep.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
And they say Congress is considering another package?
Yes, they're considering another one to fund SBA again.
I'm trying to tell you something. This was never about what our concept of small
Yep.
business. It was never about our concept.
Nope, not at all.
Because when the average American thinks of small business, he or she is thinking 10 employees, 6 employees,
Yep.
5 employees.
Mhm.
If you're really banging it out, 20.
Yeah, 20, yep.
You know, got your store, you're doing your thing online, you're doing your thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're not thinking when you say small business to us, you're not thinking 500 employees
Right.
and $10 million in revenue.
Yep. Yep. And some of those businesses already said when they're going to keep their people until the date and then fire them after the date's over.
And then they don't have
So
to
they
pay
pay
the
it
money.
back. I'm trying to tell you something, man.
This is gangster, man.
Yep.
Let's talk to Miss Brenda. Hello, Miss Brenda. How you doing?
Hey, sir. How are you? I'm doing well.
All right. You say you had the virus and now you're recovered?
Okay, I got it now.
Well, Bishop, I had the virus because you did call me in the hospital.
Yep.
But listen, yes, sir. I'm home now, and thanks to
Good.
God, I am recovering. But listen, Bishop, everybody in the household had it.
Everyone?
Wow.
Everybody. I had it, China had it, and Brandy had it.
Oh, yeah, Brent. Yeah.
We all three had it, Bishop, and our symptoms was I thought I had a sinus headache.
Okay.
Because, but then it got better, but it didn't. So then I called the doctor again, right, and she gave me another antibiotic. So my son had came by to bring me a humidifier, and he said, "Mom, you need to go to the hospital." So he did take me. When I got to the hospital, I had pneumonia in both lungs.
Okay.
So then, but this is the awful thing about the whole thing. They test you when they think you have the virus. You can't. It's hard for you to get the test if you only have a couple symptoms.
Okay.
So they test me that night with the thing down each nostril. So the next day they come in and tell me I do have the virus.
Okay.
But so Bishop, I'm gonna tell you something though. But if you don't have God, you don't have prayers, you don't have faith and family, listen, you're in bad shape because when you go to the hospital, sir, I feel, listen, if I had money, I would give it all to the nurses because they are the trash people, they are the doctors, they are everything. The only time they come to your room is to give you your medication and bring you what you need. So they'll call you on the phone. They have this phone in your room. They call you and say, "Listen, we're coming in to bring your medication. we're going to give you, ask you if there's anything else you need. But because at first I was pretty mobile, I had to order my own lunch, my own dinner, and everything, which I wasn't eating because I was really sick. So, and they will tell you right off, they don't treat you for the virus because they know nothing about it. They treat you for the pneumonia.
Okay.
So when they gave me a couple antibiotics, right, and they gave me blood tests, right, and they took a couple chest X-rays, right. The first chest X-ray, they said I was mildly improved. The second chest X-ray, they said I still had like a lot of mucus that was hardening around my left lung, right.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that my son was on them to let me come home, because on Tuesday the doctor calls you on the phone. He does not come into your room, and he says that your son wants you to come home, but we're working on it. So then on Wednesday he called me and said that I'm going to let you go home. So they walk you around the room to make sure that your oxygen level is 90 above.
Okay.
Mine fell to 89. So
Okay.
they did send me home with oxygen. So when I came home with oxygen, I had to find this thing for my finger that you put on to measure your oxygen. But we didn't have it here in New Jersey, so my niece sent it from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So he sent it. So on that Friday, after I got Friday, Brandy started turning my oxygen down to like every 5 points. It was on 2, 1, 5, 1. Then finally, we just turned it off because I didn't want my body to be dependent on the oxygen.
Okay.
So I started breathing deeply, and they send you home with this thing that you put in your mouth, and they sort of like exercise your lungs.
Okay.
So from that point on, with prayer and family, I'm doing well. My fever, I haven't had a fever now for the last 3 days. I took it last night, and it was 97 point something.
Now, when you had the pneumonia, you didn't know you had it, Brenda?
Well, not at first, Bishop. Listen, not at first. At first, because I was kind of like breathing okay. But then that Friday night, right, when my son wanted to bring me the humidifier, that's when I began, like, if I'm talking to you, I would kind of like, my words would like disconnect, right? So then that's when we decided to take me to the hospital. But Bishop, at first, you kind of like have, well, if you got sinuses, that's what I thought I had. And then, Bishop, for like 3 weeks, I kept on having this bad pain, like an ache in my right leg. But honestly, I thought it was from an accident that I had like a couple years ago.
So your body was aching too.
Right. And then Brandy said to me one day, "Mom, my backside is hurting me, right? It's hurting me, right?" And she said, but she went to work and she said she was better. But then you could see that she had like a lot of mucus, right? So I went to the hospital. But then after I got in the hospital, Brandy told me, she said, "Mom, I was sick." She said, but every day I would get on my knees and ask God to help me breathe, because we had China here, and Brandy didn't want to leave China by herself. So we had Brandy. So Brandy stayed home. But listen, she said.
Well, let me ask you one more thing before I let you go. Now, when you had the test, somebody told me the test was painful. Is that true?
Well, it's uncomfortable.
Okay,
because
that's all.
Like it's these long, big Q-tip that they put down each nostril, and it like goes to the back of your nose, almost down to your throat.
Okay.
And But Bishop, I'm gonna tell you, the government's not doing anything for us.
Okay.
And it's really kind of, but like I said, I've been blessed. I thank God every day, because like I said, I'm getting up now, and I'm moving around, and I'm doing stuff. But I had left a message for you. I still want to talk to you, because when you have this disease, let me tell you, Bishop, we all said this. You have weird dreams at night. You can't remember what they are, but you know that you had one.
Yeah.
And now my son has it, Bishop.
Okay.
But he seems to be doing well. I speak to him every day. He said that he didn't have a fever yesterday, so he seems to be doing well. But I think if you're in a house with people, I don't know. See, the problem is you don't know how you get it.
Yeah.
And so but I just wanted to give you my testimony. That
well, I'm glad you're better. I'm praying for your household.
Thank you, sir.
Talk to you later now. Bye-bye.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Bye-bye. Antonio from Harrisburg, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Bishop?
Doing good, man. Good to hear from you. How's things out there in Harrisburg, man?
It's wild. Yeah.
What's your comment today or question? We got about 4 minutes.
Okay. I'll make it quick. First, before I begin, I appreciate what you do over there, and absolutely love you and Pastor Nick.
Thank you, man.
What I want to say is that what you didn't know about me is that I am a owner of a trucking company in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I run about a small to medium-sized fleet, and a lot of my truck drivers, we do go to upstate New York.
Okay.
Pretty much we service the whole East Coast,
okay,
including me. So I own a company, but I also drive as well.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding the stimulus, not only was we not able to get anything, but the rates of which the drivers have been running for these loads during the pandemic has been less when things were normal.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
So a good example would be the average load pays usually $2 to $3 per mile.
Okay.
Drivers right now are making anywhere from 80 cents to $1 per mile.
Why?
During a pandemic.
Why?
Well, part of the reason why is because it's supply and demand, basically meaning that the more companies that you have open, the more competition there are on the load board, so they have to pay more because they want to get their stuff moved.
Okay.
So being that there are less companies open, there's less competition, and so basically what they're doing is they're putting kind of a stranglehold on the trucking companies and also the truck drivers.
Now, when you say they, what do you mean?
They, I'm speaking of government, I'm speaking of businesses, certain businesses and certain companies. Because
so you're saying they're driving the price down per mile. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Which is crazy because we're actually out here when it's more dangerous and we're getting less per mile. You know what I mean?
So in essence, if you want the business, I know we were paying you $2 a mile, but if you want this contract, we're only going to pay you 80 cents a mile.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So, I mean,
can you run the truck for 80 cents a mile?
Well, I mean, the thing is, Bishop, I do the best that I can to try and get as much as I can. But when you have a wife and you have 3 kids and you have bills, you know what I mean? It kind of puts you in a tight situation because in order for you to stay afloat during this economy,
you have to do what you have to do.
You have to do what you have to do.
Fortunately for you, you're driving yourself also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what's been helping us pretty much to stay afloat. But I just wanted to comment on it because when you have put up about the stimulus, and it's crazy because these big companies, they got the money, like they got the assistance. But when you have small, medium-sized companies...
I don't believe it was ever for small business. Mm-hmm. I think they just said that.
Yeah, well.
Thank you, man. I'll be praying for you. What's your company called? I'll be praying for you.
The name of my company is called AM Truck Enterprises. Okay.
We'll be praying for you.
All right.
Stay strong now. Bye-bye. Well, we're coming to the end of the program. We want you to join us tomorrow morning. We've got 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
It's 8, 9, 11, and 12, sorry.
8, 9, 11. We having a discussion at 10?
We didn't schedule it. Do you want to do it?
We should.
We got to see if we can get people in.
Yeah. 8, 9, 11, and 12 are our services tomorrow, and we would like to have another live discussion between the services for you, if you can. If we can get together, we will. If not, but 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock service. Join us. We're in the Dream Maker series. You're going to love tomorrow's Prophetic Insight. Subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ. And remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America with Reverend Nicholas Smith. I'm Bishop David G. Evans. Stay strong, and we'll see you tomorrow on Virtual Church.